The new arrivals want to belong. The community wants to shed the stigma of Mariel. Two goals not that far apart. But time is running out to bridge that gap. The federal government is about to turn over the responsibility for all refugees to state and local governments. Survival might depend on solidarity. Right now, the magic date is June 1st. Not a lot of time for the community to prepare for a burden which in the past it only shared.
From the moment the first boat docked at Key West, local and state officials expected Uncle Sam to eventually shoulder the entire burden. But that's not how it worked out, and the bills started piling up. Medical costs, schools. The federal government paid some of the cost, but Florida, Dade County, and the city of Miami are still out $150 million.
We're angry about it. We have been angry about it for 2 years, and we've been pushing for reimbursement for 2 years. We have gotten some, but we have not gotten $150 million worth.
Add to that another $10 million Florida's spending to keep refugee aid alive, hoping the federal government will pay it back. Whether or not that happens come June 1st, the money stops. 23,000 Cubans now receiving cash and medical assistance will do without. It means Rigoberto Lombana will not get his monthly $119 check.
Well, I imagine I will go to the streets because I will not have a place to sleep. And if I don't pay here, they will throw me out.
For other Mariel refugees, aid means more than a check. More than a dozen programs to resettle, re-educate, and train refugees hang in the balance. It's how Moises Lafay got his job. The Miami Entrant Assistance Program is responsible for helping hundreds of Mariel refugees become productive residents. And others still need its help. The Marchetti family returned to South Florida after 2 years of disappointment in California. They've turned to the Entrant Program for a way out. To keep those kinds of offices running, Florida officials are pinning their hopes on a so-called Impact Aid Grant. The problem? There are only $35 million available nationwide, and local officials say they need nearly all of that money.
We're saying to the feds is we need your decision now. We need that money now, because come June 1st, over 30,000 Cuban and Haitian entrants in the state of Florida will lose benefits. And if we don't have something to offer these people close to June 1, we are facing the possibility of some disruptions in our communities.
It's give, you guys, give and gave. That's the present, and that's the past.
The alternative to federal money? Private charities, such as the Golden Door on Miami Beach, a halfway house for 30 Mariel refugees paid through the Lutheran Ministries of Florida. A packed station wagon makes a daily trip to Homestead and the cucumber fields. But just across the street, the faces of the unemployed, those not in any programs, and about to lose their monthly cash benefits.
It's a scary prospect for them and for us, you know, because they don't want to. They're not, I work here every day, and they're not maniacs. They don't know what they're going to do next. So when you cut off this money, that, you know, this small amount of money that's between them and nothing, that I think that's going to really panic them.
Florida officials are not panicking, and efforts are underway to keep programs going. In the streets, well, there's no sign of any panic just yet, but there are those who have already given up. A few have already moved to the streets entirely. A trip from Mariel that has finally ended with a makeshift home under the expressway.